Hi, everyone. Our video blog this week, we're meeting with the city. The city is embarked in a number of consultation as it relates to winter maintenance. I know that's top of mind for everyone as we're deep down in mid part of our winter. I'd like to introduce a few city members who've joined us to share with us what's happening, what the review's all about. So I'd like to introduce Chad Finley, who's the project lead for the city reviewing the standards. Good afternoon, Chad.
Thanks, Councillor, and thank you for having us here today.
Chad, so tell us, I partook in some of the consultation, great participation last night. I know that we're also on Engage Ottawa. There's a great survey up there for residents to participate and provide feedback. Before we go into to where we're at so far, the project began last year and it really worked. What is it all about?
The City of Ottawa currently maintains approximately 12,000 lane kilometers of roadways, 2,500 kilometers of sidewalks and pathways, and 50 kilometers of winter cycling facilities. Through the years, we've recognized we can't be everywhere at once, and we can't always maintain everything to the same level. In order to achieve the success and reduce risks, a classification system was devised back in 2003 to prioritize maintenance within the networks. These standards have served us well for many years. However, following a couple of tough winters in 2018-2019, coupled with impacts from trends such as development intensification and multimodal transportation, the City of Ottawa Transportation Committee directed Roads and Parking Services to review these standards. I'm going to take a couple minutes and discuss at a high level the current standards and classification systems. So the road classification systems are rated from 1 to 5, with 1 being the highest priority and highest level of traffic, with the highest speed limits and the highest capacity of commuters, to 5 being the more residential type streets, mostly deep into the neighborhoods, where there's very little commerce or institutional facilities and typically operate at lower speeds. Our sidewalk network is classified from 1 to 3, with Classification 1 being the immediate downtown core, the Albert Slater Laurier corridors, as well as the Byward Market, in the highest density downtown business district. Moving to from there to Class 2 and 3 sidewalks. The Class 2 sidewalks are the high priority sidewalks which are adjacent to the arterial roadway network, and the Class 3 sidewalks are all others which are adjacent to many secondary roads as well as your residential type roadway network. We currently only have 1 classification for winter maintained cycling network within the City of Ottawa, and it encompasses the entire 51 kilometers. Our intent is to keep this at a bare pavement standard somewhere between 4 and 12 hours following a storm of 2 to 5 centimeters of accumulation.
Yeah, we have to give context. 2003, the city had just amalgamated. It was trying to figure it all out in its zones and so on. We're a number of years later. We're a big city with very distinct areas, as you highlighted, main streets, areas. What's in terms of your setting out the consultants and the efforts? You talked about residential zones versus commercial zones or main streets. Are there other elements that are being considered? I'm thinking, for example, schools or transit, or parks. Are those elements also a part of the review?
Yes, like you touched on, Councillor, the city has really evolved since 2003 when these standards were developed. And like you said, they were just post-amalgamation, and the initiative was really to try and equalize the level of service across the many historic municipalities. Now we've evolved to a point where we're a lot more proactive with our mass transit, our active transportation, such as walking, cycling, and alternate modes of transportation than perhaps we were a more car-dominant society back in 2003. Coupled with the intensification initiatives for our development, we've really recognized a need to try and diversify our winter maintenance across.
You conduct a review like this. First thing, you look left, you look right. I know that you and your team has looked to other municipalities. Can you share with us the contacts you've made and the early findings? Obviously, that work continues, but Is there an aha moment in terms of your connections with other cities?
Well, thanks, Councillor. Yeah, we definitely have looked to other municipalities, particularly leaders in the industry. I mean, there's many different cities across Ontario, across Canada, the United States, as well as across the world that have been identified as leaders in the industry and have really made inroads towards reviewing their standards and providing services with the lenses, like Elaine mentioned, related to accessibility and equity, as well as identifying the need to be able to address climate change provisions and so on. So we've looked to cities such as Stockholm, Sweden, as well as Helsinki, Finland, and Montreal in Quebec, as well as cities that have identified with extreme winter cycling networks such as Edmonton and Alberta. So we really have kind of done the full gamut across many different municipalities throughout the world to try and make sure that we're on the cusp and on the leading edge of technology as well as standards.
I love that we've done that in terms of getting to know what others have put in place and consider, what does it mean for us? Is it applicable? Is there weather patterns? What are your early kind of thoughts on that?
Yeah, so what the experts are telling us that have done a lot of research on climate change and are making the recognized predictions related to climate change, from what I can see, relating it back towards our operations for some point, we're going to see a lot more similarities to the oceanic influenced climates, such as we may see in Europe or in the coastal cities, even in the eastern provinces of Canada, where they do see those extreme winter events. However, they also see a significant amount of freeze thaw events where they receive the freezing rain and ice storms, as well as the snowpack melting and refreezing and so on. So we definitely have identified those as an element that may be more predominant in our future. So we're trying to be provide ourselves with the ability to pivot and address those type of situations.
It's important we're conducting this review right in the winter, which I think is, it's unique. It's an opportunity when it's front and center in people's minds. COVID has hit us, which makes public spaces even more important, and people, are home, but still get around walking, getting exercise. So I was at the consultation last evening that you hosted, and I was impressed. I was impressed with the range of everyone that participated didn't just drive or didn't just walk. They used all modes, which I thought was really unique in the engagement. I didn't expect that. So maybe you could walk us through where you're at with the review, and also what people can expect and how they can participate.
Definitely, Councillor. That was intentional that we went out for a review and public consultation at this point in the winter. With our intent was to really receive the true feedback from the public when they're engaged in the actual winter events and feeling the repercussions of our operations throughout the winter. So we're very happy with our workshop sessions, which we've been partaking in all week. We have one more session this evening, as well as a daytime session tomorrow. And then we will be moving into our online survey portion of the public engagement, where any members of the public can go on our Engage Ottawa site and complete a survey, as well as we have opportunities for anyone with accessibility issues to the website who can phone the number that I can provide at the end of our session, and have the survey dictated to them and provide their responses to someone in a live manner. So from that, we'll be moving forward to summarize and review all the input that we received from both the public as well as any stakeholders in the project. And we'll be moving forward with trying to develop new options and opportunities for our maintenance quality standards all wrapping up with a recommendation to committee and council in the fall of 2021.
And as we head into the fall, would we expect the changes or yeah, I guess the changes to be affected in winter 2022? Is that kind of the objective?
Yeah, we're recommending a staged implementation plan, which will start to commence in the winter of 2022 and move beyond based on the recommend. You know, it'll depend on what the recommendation that's accepted, and you know, a rollout plan that will move into the subsequent winters.
But as we've developed the plan, there'll be components that start to be implemented as early as 2022.
Yes, for sure. Exactly, Councillor. Yes. I think you've done a great job touching on the aspects of our project, Councillor. I really encourage your constituents to get out and complete those surveys and really provide us their true feedback as they feel affected through our winter maintenance operations.
Thank you for that. We will share this on our platform, that you be a resident in Lower Town, Sandy Hill, and Vanier, a business owner, a senior, a student. This is the time we want to know from you. What's the city doing? There's a lot of things we're doing right. There's things we need to modify, and happy that the city's engaging through the winter, and these changes are meaningful. There'll be a report in the fall, and then beginning of implementation in 2022. So thank you, Chad, for your time. And again, we have it on the bottom of the screen. You can click and participate on the online survey. Residents in Sandy Hill, in Lower Town, and in Vanier, at times you've called 311, at times you've contacted my team to share some of the issues relating to winter maintenance, winter clearance on our streets, on our sidewalks, for you to get to school, for you to get to work, for you to take transit, for you to get to our main streets. So please take part in this consultation. It is important to provide what's going well, what needs to be improved as the city is currently conducting its review. This is the time to really share with us how the city can improve.